Soccer, football, it's all the same. Regardless, this is going to be a talk about Embers. Embers is a manga that started running about a month ago, and it's about soccer. If you're a fan of Blue Lock, you might enjoy this. If you liked Izuma 11 growing up, you might enjoy this. Um, so this one's a little different. Obviously, it's very different from Blue Lock. It's going to be more of a typical sports manga. It seems a high schooler that's a delinquent finds out he's likes soccer and he's not necessarily good at it, but he's a wall. And so it's very interesting dynamic here. Um, so far, as I'm recording this, a new chapter will come out tomorrow at the time of recording. That should be chapter 5. So I'm not sure where you guys are going to get this video, but this is before chapter 5, the day before chapter 5 comes out. Only have 4 chapters, and they're currently in a. I like where this is going. They're currently in a game to see who gets placed in what team. What I like about this so far is that his rivals at the same school as him and technically on the same team. I don't know. I've been reading this. It's very much giving high Q vibes on like the character dynamics, but it's also like when they're playing soccer, it's very intense. I mean, that's what you want from a sports anime. I do feel like Haikyuu when they're playing volleyball, it's not as intense. But if you're watching something like Kuroko no Basket, all of the basketball games are very intense. Um, I do feel like you get some kind of like mix of it. The art is pretty good. It's by Sotaru Nishi. Don't know them, but this art is kind of killer. So I kind of like the fact they're killer. It's a story by Kei Kurumazaki. Kurumazaki. Okay. And what I like so far, man, the art just pops the fuck off. Chapter 3, especially when you meet. Let me see what this guy's name is. I should be better about just knowing their names, but that's just how it is. Um, his name is. Oh no, that's not Kagami. Who is this? I don't know what his name is. We're not gonna worry about that. He's the serpent guy. You'll know what I mean when you start reading this. He is the serpent guy, and he's pretty cool, man. And this is when the art starts to pop off. I'm gonna spoil all of chapter 3. Chapter 3 is just them getting ready to figure out who goes on A, B, and C team. And the snake guy, he is on A team, but he's kind of the big bad right now. He's kind of like, I'm real strong. And with a simple handshake, he can usually tell whether or not someone's worth battling. And it's very depicted well when he shakes someone's hand. It's like a serpent wrapped around their arm, and that's him like evaluating his skill because he's the snake or whatever. And it's super dope because the rival of our main character, when he shakes his hand, he sees a giant eagle, right? And the name of this chapter is actually called like the Cobra, the Eagle, and the Blank or whatever, if I'm not mistaken. No, a Viper, a Hawk, and a Blank. And the main character, he is the Blank, and then he is a giant wolf. So when he shakes his hand, he sees a huge wolf, and then he smiles, and he's just like, "Oh, those are the people I love to tear down." I love how this is setting up. It's kind of a Kagurabachi, where Kagurabachi set up and executed an arc pretty early on in this manga. If you haven't read Kagurabachi, you could read the first 18 chapters. That's the entire first arc from start to finish. It's set up, it's the climax, it's the resolution in those 18 chapters. And it does a really good job. And I do feel like this is something that we're learning with mangaka nowadays. Is arcs are more concise, but still hitting all the good points, and I kind of loving that right now. And Embers is doing a very good job. Like I said, we're only 4 chapters in, but this arc has already started. They've already been like basically we're in the game right now, and we need to figure out the winners of this game will be A team, the losers will not be. And obviously, both of our main characters are on the same side. They want to be on A team. So very very good. I am enjoying the story so far. To make this one not a short one because it's only about 4 minutes currently, I guess we'll talk about something else other than Embers. But please give Embers a check when you get a chance. It's on the Shonen Jump app if you guys have Shonen Jump, or if you read it somewhere else, that's fine too. But you just please go give it a check out. It's pretty good. I'm excited. I hope this continues to be good because I would like to see this animated one day. I do feel like this has some potential. So here's hoping it lasts long. On a side note, there's another new manga that I've been reading called The Marshall King, and you know it's pretty good, man. It's by Bochi. If you don't know who Bochi is, where have you been? One, but two, their art's insane. Three, they are the ones who adopted the adapted the Ace Light novels for One Piece. They also redrew the Zoro Mihawk fight. Very well known, respected artists in the mangaka community. Very popular. They have a story. It's called The Marshall King. It's a Western anime. Like they use guns. That's like their powers is their guns. It's so sick. It's about like this kid of an outlaw, and he has to like fight his dad. It's so good. It's so good. Um, I'm hoping this is pretty good. So far, I'm enjoying it. It does have a slower start. Its start isn't as strong as like Embers, but I am enjoying this so far. I do like the Marshall King, especially because the concept of them just being like outlaws and stuff is very interesting. I think it's fun, and there's like they're talking about like these holy gun relics that only certain people can wield, and like oh, I've seen people try to use it and they die just by pulling the trigger. Like they couldn't survive the weight of the trigger being pulled back, and they just died. So that concept's very funny. Main character, he's really cool, and so I'm very much hoping that we get to a point where it is just wild gunfights. So far, all the characters that they've introduced have been very comical. I don't know. It's like a comedy with some action in it. Very interesting. They started a big fight recently. It's only 4 chapters in, so it's not like it's too bad. Regardless, please also check out the Marshall King. I will talk about this one a lot less, just because there's not much to talk about, but it is very very good. Um, there's not I don't know, I think those are the only 2, like, newer mangas I've been reading. Everything else has been stuff I've been reading, like Rory Dragon, I'm still reading. Wild Strawberry, I might have to make a whole video on Wild Strawberry because I feel like it's getting canceled soon, man, and I don't like that feeling. You ever been reading something that's coming out week to week, or you, like, watching a TV show and the TV show's week to week, and you get to a point where you're watching an episode and you're like, is this getting canceled? Like, is this are we do we hate this? I hope we don't hate this because I definitely don't hate Wild Strawberry. I've been a huge fan of it since it first started, but the last couple chapters I'm reading and I'm just like, is this over? Is it? Are we done? I hope not because I like this. Um, yeah, I need to make a whole. I'll make a whole video on that one just because that one's so good. I also started reading that like Mozart one, not Mozart, Beethoven, right? Let me see if I can find it. The Beethoven one. You guys know what I'm talking about, right? That one's only 3 chapters in. Star of Beethoven. It's it's about a kid who is very good at the piano, but he stopped playing because of like a tournament or something that he lost or something a long time ago. And one day Beethoven is revived. Beethoven gets like isekai into Japan. And so he's like in a 7-Eleven buying like stuff at the convenience store, and Beethoven walks in speaking like German. And so the main character starts speaking to him in German because he knows German. For some reason, and basically ends up finding out that yeah, that guy's Beethoven, and, he's fully his isekai. It's like fully just Beethoven, and he's just not deaf anymore, and it's so great. So the Beethoven's just like, I'll take you under my wing, and he's gonna like teach him to be good at piano again. That's the plot. I hope this one lasts longer than Tenpuku Cinema. I hope this one lasts longer than like Candy Flurry. This one, it's very funny. I like the concept behind this. I guess this is one of those ones that will just have a short life because there's only so much you can do with this concept. But it's very good. I hope it has a long enough life, but it can like get a season or something out of it. So that's very interesting. So I think that's gonna be it. We're gonna see if we can get this video to 10 minutes. We're at the 9 minute mark now, so we'll go ahead and do some wrap ups. Um, if you're reading Star of Beethoven, let me know. Do you like it so far? Do you think it's interesting? If you haven't read Star of Beethoven, what do you think? Same for Marshall King. If you're reading Marshall King, let me know how that's going. If you don't know where to read manga, please download the Shonen Jump app. It's actually really good. Actually, here's a sponsor for Shonen Jump app. I'm not getting sponsored by them. I don't want to get sued. Regardless, I think they're really good. If you like Shonen, you like manga and stuff like that, Shonen Jump app's really good. For free, you can read, I believe, the most recent chapter of anything and the first 3 chapters. So if you get this fast enough, you could read all 3 chapters of the Star Beethoven for free, and as every new chapter comes out, you just read it that day. But for $3 a month, you can get full access to everything. However, there is a hard limit of 100 chapters a day. I found this out when I was catching up to Black Clover a couple of years ago. Um, I was reading through, and I was in the middle of like a really good arc, and it was like you can't read anymore. You read 100 chapters, and so it's just kind of hard stopping me there. But other than that, like for $3 a month, not hard to beat. So yeah, if you're reading any of the things we talked about today, let me know. If you do want me to make a full video on Wild Strawberry, let me know. I'll make a full video just kind of going over what's happening in there right now. There's kind of a lot going down. It's also just a good read. I don't know, man. Thank you for letting me waste your time, and thank you for giving me the 10 minutes. Bye.